Hi guys and welcome to MotorBeam. Today we have with us two brand new SUVs from Mercedes-Benz. This is the GLB powered by petrol engine or a diesel engine, and this is the electrified version of this SUV called the EQB. We'll be trying both of them and I'll tell you the differences also, and at the end of the video I'll tell you which one to buy and which one would I recommend personally. Before we get started, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the MotorBeam channel. So first let's compare the designs of both of the cars and see what is different, what is same. So this I have opened the bonnets of both the cars. Unlike the EQS, the bonnet of the EQB opens up, and as you can see there is no insulation over here, but on the GLB you get some insulation, and this is the neat and clean engine bay. This is the GLB 220D 4MATIC top of the line variant with the AMG body kit, which you can see over here. So I'll come to that in a bit. And this engine, this is a 2-liter engine making around 190 horses and 400 Newton meters, mated to an 8-speed automatic. This one gets a 66.5 kilowatt battery, two motors, one asynchronous motor at the front and a permanent synchronous motor at the back. This one makes 225 horses, 390 Newton meters, no transmission, single speed it is. And yeah, the EQB is longer than the GLB by 38 millimeters. This one is wider by 16 millimeters, wider by 15 millimeters, and taller by 16 millimeters. And on this one you get 19-inch wheels with an AMG design for the wheels. On this one you get 18-inch wheels. On the lower variants of this, that is the GLB 200 petrol and the GLB 220 diesel two-wheel drive, you get 18-inch wheels. So 19-inch are offered only on the 4MATIC. On this you get 4MATIC as standard. So yeah, that's about it. This is the standard white color. This one gets this nice rose gold color. You get some EQB badging over here, no badging over here. The mirrors are more or less the same on the cars, and so I have shut the bonnets of both the cars, and you can clearly have a look at the fascias. Both of them look very different from each other. This one definitely looks like a baby JLS. This one has some EQ elements like this strip over here, which is running across the length of the panel over here. So no grill on the EQB. You get this glossy black, piano black finish with the big Mercedes logo. And this is the lower part of the bumper. This one looks quite smart, and the color is very tasteful. This one looks a bit more aggressive and sporty, and yeah, the design elements are similar to that of bigger Mercedes SUVs. So as I mentioned before, that is a bit longer. This one has slightly higher ground clearance. Both the cars have a dual tone finish, so you get a dual pane sunroof on both the cars, and that's about it. Which one do you like more in terms of design? Let me know in the comments section below. I'll show you a cool thing, not a cool thing, a quirky thing actually. On the EQB, you get request sensors on all 4 doors. On the GLB, you don't get request sensors on any door, not even on the driver side door. No request sensors, unfortunately. So that was a look at the fascia of both the cars. From the side, both of them are quite identical, save for a few minor changes. So let me just show you the side profile. Both of them have the exact same wheelbase of 2829 millimeters. And from the side, the car looks quite nice. The dimensions are very good. The bonnet is long. And then this area, that is, a bit too upright, and from this angle especially, it reminds you of the Mercedes GLS, which is the flagship SUV. At the rear, both of the cars have a lot of major differences. Of course, the positioning of the number plate is very different. Over here you get the number plate on the rear bumper. Over here you get it on the tailgate. You get dual exhaust tips on this one, and this diffuser thing, because this is the AMG kit. Over here, of course, no exhaust tips. So you get some chrome elements, reflector over here, and you get this LED tail light strip, which looks quite good. So you can have a look at the 3D elements. They look very nice. And this one also looks very good. Again, reminds you of the GLS. Let me just compare the headlights of both the cars. Both the cars get very sharp LED lights. You get LED indicators also. And the design is very different. You can have a look at the design. Very different design, but yeah, I think both of them offer very nice brightness at night. And on the EQB, you get this blue strip over here. I hope you can see it with Mercedes-Benz badging. And let's come back to the rear of the cars. This one, personally, I feel this one looks simple. This one looks a bit more attention grabbing, and if you want to open the boot on this, you have to pop out the Mercedes logo. On this, you just have to press a button over here. Both the cars get this electric tailgate. Here's a look. You get a warning light over here, which is present over here also. On this one, the EQB, you get 2 buttons. On the regular GLB, you get only 1 button. You get this grab handle if you want. Let's stop this, and okay, we'll have to open this. we'll have to open this again, sorry for that. So even though both the cars are not very different in terms of size, the boot capacities are very different. So with the third row up in place, you get 150 liters on the GLB, 110 liters on the EQB. With the third row folded, you get 465 liters on the EQB and 700 liters on the GLB. With the second row folded, you get 1680 liters on the GLB, 1620 liters on the EQB. So yeah, that is a world of a difference, especially with the third row up in place and with the third row folded. So how do you fold the third row? You have to just use this red string to fold or unfold the third row, and with the boot full of luggage, this is how it looks. And you have this parcel shelf also if you want to conceal the luggage. So we'll just keep this open right now, and on this there is no parcel shelf. Of course, that is optional, you can put that on this car also, but yeah, this is how the boot looks with the seat folded down. And if I bring the seat up, so with the seat up, you can have a look at how much cargo capacity you get over here. No spare wheel is offered on these cars. You get a tool kit and a puncture repair kit, that's about it. No spare wheel. I could not show the underbody properly, so yeah, that's about it. Both the cars look good in their own way, and Mercedes has done enough to differentiate between the ICE and the EV model. Personally, I prefer the design of that one. Which one do you like? Let me know. And yeah, what else? I think I've covered all the important bits. This one is offered in a single variant, the EQB, and the GLB is offered in two variants. The GLB 200 and the GLB 220 two-wheel drive diesel are offered in the progressive trim with a different bumper design, different wheels and a lighter interior color theme. The 4MATIC is offered with this AMG body kit over here. So you get these sporty elements over here, and this grille is also different on the 4MATIC with the AMG kit. So now what I'll do is I'll take both of these cars back to back for a drive. I'll start off with the GLB. I'll show you the interior of the GLB in detail. Then I'll compare it to the interior of the EQB. Not a lot of differences, very minor changes. So we'll talk about the interior of that car first, then the interior of this car, and then we'll drive both the cars back to back and then come to the verdict of the video. So a lot of people will have that concern that how is the third row space and the ease of getting in and out of the third row. What I'll do is, because that car has a lot of luggage, I'll pull up the third row on this car. Okay, it is already up, and let me just show it to you. You open the rear door. These are the AMG seats, and you have to pull this thing down. Once you pull this, this is the kind of space that you get for the third row passenger. Knee room is seriously limited. Headroom is still fine, and people like me, tall people like me, cannot fit here comfortably. In fact, getting in and out will also be very difficult in this. This is the only amount of space you get to get inside the third row of the car. So as Mercedes mentioned, this is meant only for dogs or for pre-teens or at max teenagers, who can probably sit there comfortably and get in and out. So yeah, let's now move on to the interiors of the cars. I'll show you the interior of both the cars in detail, but here's a quick look. The EQB gets rose gold elements on the seats and on the AC vents. The dashboard, the layout of the dashboard, the center console, everything is exactly the same as the GLB. You get black seats on this one with Alcantara and leather, and apart from that, everything is exactly the same. Both the cars are quite loaded with features. The ambient lighting is slightly different on both the cars, but apart from that, not a lot of changes. And of course, let's talk about the interior in detail now. Okay, so I showed you the exteriors of both of the cars, the GLB and the EQB, and there's a lot of difference on the outside, but on the inside there's not a lot of difference. So what I'll do is I'll show you the interior of the GLB in detail, and then we'll move on to the interior of the EQB also and show you some minor differences that are there in the electric version of this SUV. So let's get inside this car. As you can see, there's no keyless entry feature on this car, so there's no remote, there's no request sensor over here, and you have to actually unlock the car using the remote manually. So this is the door pad of the car. Looks very familiar and very similar to that of the GLA. Actually, the color scheme looks nice. Black upholstery with red stitching and some carbon fiber touches over here. Now you get this memory function for the driver's seat. 3 adjustment options, 3 setting options. Basically, lock and lock button are placed over here. This is finished in a very nice aluminum finish, and these are the basic switches for the power window controls and the ORVM controls. This is used for opening the boot, and over here you get a BMW Motorsport wallet and a 1 liter bottle holder along with some storage areas. So let's jump inside the car. Now, because this is the top end 4MATIC variant, this gets an AMG kit, which is why this gets performance seats with, you know, a dark color theme over here. If you buy the petrol version or the two-wheel drive diesel version, you will get a light color theme. So I'll quickly fire up the car. The button is placed over here. We'll switch this off because we don't need it right now. And yeah, this is the cabin of the Mercedes GLB. We'll reduce the blower speed and I can show you the layout of the car. So this one gets a mirror over here along with a light, and the same is the case for the front passenger also. Okay, yeah, now it is working properly. So let's shut this right now. This is the sunroof control module. You get this Mercedes Me feature over here and the SOS function also. So by mistake in the morning when I was opening the sunroof, I actually pressed this and the car started dialing up the SOS helpline, but then I quickly cancelled it. These are the cabin lights. Not very bright right now, but yeah, they offer good visibility when it is dark. And this one gets a very big sunroof, so there are dual pane sunroofs. This one opens up the glass area. Let me just show it to you. It is a bit slow, but yeah, it opens up nice and wide. And the rear glass does not open up, but yeah, this one opens up only this much. And we'll shut this because the sun is too bright. So this is the cabin of the Mercedes GLB. The design feels very familiar because, you know, if you have seen the newer Mercedes cars like the GLA and some of the bigger ones also, you will find a lot of design elements that are similar to those cars. So you get this AMG steering wheel on this one. If you buy the lower variants, the GLB 220 two-wheel drive or the GLB 200 petrol, then you will get a slightly different design for the steering wheel. This one also gets a perforated finish on the sides and a normal leather wrap on the top and the bottom with some red stitching and aluminum finish inlays over here, which look very tasteful. And overall, I must say the quality is actually very nice. So, you know, the quality feels very consistent throughout the cabin of the car, and all the materials, they, you know, add some amount of richness to the cabin of the car. This panel that you see over here, the carbon fiber inserts that you see over here, and the materials on the top of the dashboard, all of them are oozing of high quality materials. So you get two screens on the Mercedes GLB. This is 10.25 inches and this one is also 10.25 inches, and you can toggle through the different displays. So you can use this touchpad over here to, you know, toggle through the different menus, and you can see the kind of information that this screen offers. Now this is the 4MATIC variant, so it has this off-road display also, and I can go to the home screen using this, and I'm scrolling through the different functions. So there are 3 or 4 different displays. You get classic, you get sport, which looks like this, and okay, so in this the MID can also be customized. So this is the digital speedometer, and you get a fuel consumption display. Lot of information actually. I can actually make a movie with this. We'll come to the home screen again and check out the different other displays that this car offers. So apart from sport, you have progressive, which looks a bit like this, and you also have an understated display, which looks very simple and settled. So you can see whatever you like and you can set it the way you want. I personally like the classic display. It looks very nice. So I'll set it to classic. This looks, you know, it looks very premium and simple. And the best thing is that everything is very easy to read. So this is the fuel indicator over here. It is full tank. The fuel tank capacity is around 60 liters on this car, on the diesel 4MATIC, and the range is 724 kilometers. And yeah, these are the basic functions that the screen offers. This is the infotainment screen. It is a touch screen unit, and again, this one has a variety of functions. There are so many things that you have. Of course, the regular phone controls, navigation you have radio, media, comfort. Let's see what is in comfort. In comfort, you have seat kinetics, you know, to adjust the seat the way you like, and to increase the comfort of the passengers in the car, you have ambient lighting, lot of different color options. And coming to info, you have this driving display. So it shows you more about the vehicle which is being driven. Gas is 0%, brake is also 0%. I am, you know, revving the car and the gas display is going up. Right now the brake is showing around 89% or something because I pressed the brake pedal. So this is for the engine. Okay, this also the way you drive, it shows you how much engine output and how much torque output are given out by the car. This is the consumption display. It is showing an average of 11.9 kilometers per liter, which is actually quite good for a car which is so heavy. And yeah, the way we have been driving it, it is very good. This is the owner's manual. I'll come back to the home screen. This is the Mercedes-Me connected car feature. Of course, the Mercedes-Me app is also quite nifty. So when you buy a Mercedes car, you can pair the car to your app and control a variety of functions. This is the settings menu. You get different driving modes, adjustment from here. You can adjust a lot of vehicle related settings. You can search for a lot of stuff. You get assistance. Let's see what is there in quick access. Okay, you can toggle through the ESP, the Parktronic feature. Here in assistance we have camera and parking, active brake assist, attention assist. You can toggle through these features. In vehicle we have dynamic select, winter tires limit, and automatic seat adjustment, automatic locking, all these features. In lights we can adjust the settings for the ambient lighting, for the exterior lighting, interior lighting, surround lighting, all those things. And in system we have these displays that you have for the instrument cluster. So you can toggle through the displays through this knob also, through this button also, and through the infotainment also. Talking about the infotainment system, this is actually quite nice to use, and again we have seen this on a lot of different Mercedes cars. This car has very good sound quality. This has 10 speakers in total, 1 speaker in each door. That makes it a total of 4 speakers, 1 tweeter in each door. That makes it a total of 4 tweeters. So 4 plus 4, 8. You have 1 center speaker over here, and there's a subwoofer located in the boot of the car. So total 10 speakers, very nice sound quality. This is the auto dimming RVM, and yeah, these buttons again, they look and feel very familiar. These are the AC control buttons. You get dual zone climate control, and over here also you get a ton of buttons. So this is for scrolling through an infotainment system. This touchpad also feels good. So if you don't prefer using the touch screen, you can make use of this touchpad over here. This is for toggling through the different driving modes that this car offers: Eco, Comfort, Sport, Individual, and there's an off-road mode also, because this is the 4MATIC variant. So yeah, you can select whatever mode you want. I'll put the car in sport mode right now, and yeah, these are the basic controls. This is for the volume control, and this thing, this does not serve any purpose. You just have to hold it, or you can rest your arm on this and then play around with the touchpad over here. This thing opens up the armrest, and you get a very wide storage area. You can keep a lot of stuff over here. It has a couple of Type-C USB ports also, which you can see, and of course, lots of storage areas are available in this car. You can open up this thing also, and there are 2 cup holders and a wireless mobile charging pad. Because this is the top of the line variant, with the MG kit you get these sporty pedals also. Coming to the glove box of the car, this plastic is a bit flimsy, and somehow I feel this is going to break. So you have to be very delicate with this and then open it up. And the glove box is medium sized. It has a small lamp over here. It is not very big, but it has cleverly designed storage area. So here you can keep your car's papers or brochures or something, and over here also you get some space to keep small stuff. Here's a close look at the front seat of the car. The seat is big and wide, and the material is top notch. It does not feel like one of the medium Mercedes cars. It actually feels like a top end variant, and the quality is very nice. You get leather over here, Alcantara over here, red stitching, which reminds you of the sporty variant that this car is, and the headrest is also quite big. So overall, for long drives, the support is nice. Under thigh support could actually be better, but of course you have to play around with the adjustment settings and adjust it the way you like. Even the passenger seat is electrically adjustable. You get a memory function for that seat also, and you get lumbar support also. For that, you have to access a button which is placed on the side of the seat. It is available for the driver seat also. So that's about it. In terms of safety features, this car has 7 airbags, including a driver side knee airbag, and the side airbags, they extend up to the 3rd row of the car. So yeah, safety is top notch. ABS with EBD, ISOFIX style seat mounts, a 5-star Euro NCAP rating. All of these things are available, so safety is not an issue with this car. Before we move on to the rear seat of the GLB, let me show you this control module. So this is for the headlight controls. This is for the fog lamp switch, and this is the parking brake of the car. So you have to pull this button to release the parking brake, and press this button to engage the parking brake of the car. So yeah, this is slightly different from what we have seen on the cars. And let's come to the rear seat of the GLB. So the driver seat has been adjusted to my driving position. I'm 6 feet tall. This is the rear door of the GLB. You get a nice finish over here, a single switch, and some small storage areas. A 1-liter bottle can fit here comfortably. This is the rear seat of the car, and let me just show you how it feels to sit here. So I'm seated in the rear seat of the GLB. Knee room is actually more than enough actually. So for a tall passenger to sit here behind another tall passenger, that is not an issue in the GLB. Headroom is also quite good, and you get 3 adjustable headrests over here, and the rear seat can also be folded individually, so you get a 40-20 split function over here, and you can also open this up. So this armrest opens up, you press the panel over here, and you can see a couple of cup holders. And yeah, the design is a bit complex, the engineering, but I think it should serve the purpose, hopefully. And yeah, this is, you can have a look at the shape of the front seat. The contouring has been done very smartly, you know, to free up some knee room over here, and you get these nets behind the front seats, and these basic AC vents. There are no blower controls for the rear passengers, a small storage area, and a single Type-C port over here. The seat itself is placed a bit closer to the ground, which is why under thigh support is an issue. And right now my knee is almost facing towards the roof. Under thigh support could have been better for tall passengers. You can have a look at the seat. The seat base area is ending over here, and my thigh is extending up to this area. So under thigh support definitely has a lot of room for improvement. Here's a look at the cabin of the car. Very clean design, looks premium, looks rich, and looks sporty also. And the seat itself is a bit on the stiffer side. The cushioning is on the stiffer side. So on long drives, you might feel that you need a softer seating. So probably the lower variants of the car will offer a better seating experience. These seats are not bad at all. They are comfortable. They are very supportive. But the cushioning feels a bit on the stiffer side. So you get ISOFIX style seat mounts obviously, and the seats can be reclined back and forth. It can also be slid. So if you want to recline the seat, you have to pull this thing over here, this strap, and the seat reclines. If you want to slide the seat, of course you do that using the module which is placed over here. So with this, the seat can be slid back and forth, and that's about it. The rear seat experience is good. Could have been better. The space is nice, but the seat could have offered more under thigh support, and the cushioning could have been slightly softer. So I showed you the interior of the GLB, and now let's move on to the interior of the EQB. Of course, there are not a lot of changes. The layout is the same, but let me show you all the differences. So the very first difference is the fact that this car has request sensors on all 4 doors. This was something which was missing on the GLB. So you just place your hand over here, the keys in my pocket, and the car unlocks. So you just get inside the car, and you are greeted by the same familiar layout. So let me just switch on the car and show it to you. Of course, because this is the electrified version, there is no auto start stop button over here, which was there on the GLB, and this car starts in a very silent manner. No engine noise, no clatter, nothing of that sort, no vibrations also. Very, very silent, and somehow you don't feel it that the car is on or off. So yeah, the design is exactly the same as the GLB. Not a lot of changes, barely any changes actually. And you see the mirror is the same, the sunroof is the same. The shape of the seats is slightly different, and the upholstery is also very different. On that you had leather and Alcantara. On this you have this fabric finish over here with a rose gold color theme which matches the exterior of the car. So if you buy any color of the EQB, you will get rose gold theme on the inside. So on the AC vents over here, you can have a look at the rose gold color theme. It is there on every AC vent, and apart from that, on the seat cover also you get this light colored rose gold theme, which looks nice. But the Alcantara on the GLB felt a bit more sportier. It looked sportier. Here also you get slightly different finishing, but not a lot of changes as I mentioned. And the ambient lighting on this car, the EQB, is slightly different. So over here at night, and when you play the music, the lights also adjust themselves accordingly. You get those disco lights over here, and I will try to show it to you, but let's see. Right now it won't be visible because it is bright outside. The sun is over my head, and the storage areas in the car are the same as the GLE. Not a lot of changes. The boot is slightly different, the layout of the boot, but apart from that, everything is the same. Of course, over here on the instrument cluster, you get this electrified display because, of course, there is no tachometer on this car. It is not needed. So you get all this information related to the electric version of this SUV, and even on the infotainment, there is no power and torque rating. Instead, you get this EQ mode. So let's click on this and see what is there. So this helps you search for charging stations. This has the consumption meter. This has the energy flow meter, and it shows you more details about the vehicle also. It is taking some time to load. Okay, so this is the battery meter, it has 48% of battery left, and the range is showing 225 kilometers right now. The car has been driven a bit hard. Let's see what is in vehicle. It is taking time to load, yes. So gas 0%, brake it says 27% because I stepped on the brake pedal right now. No spotty pedals on this car compared to the regular GLB that we saw sometime back, the one with the AMG kit. And I guess that's about it. The infotainment is otherwise exactly the same, not a lot of changes. Over here also you can see the electric version of the SUV, the EQB, instead of the normal GLB. So that's about it. The layout is the same, very nice layout, actually feels good. The materials are very nice, and I particularly like the rose gold color on the outside. It looks very good. So I'm driving the GLB first, and this is the top of the line 220D 4MATIC variant. There are two other variants on offer, 200 petrol and a 220D two-wheel drive variant. So those are, of course, lower down the price spectrum right now. I don't know the price, but the prices will be revealed in a couple of days. And if I talk about the diesel engine, this is a 2-liter engine making 190 horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque. This is the OM654Q engine, and this is mated to an 8G Tronic transmission, and 0 to 100 comes up in around 7.6 seconds. For the two-wheel drive, it takes around 7.7 seconds, and for the petrol, it takes 9.1 seconds to do the 0 to 100 run. And talking about the top speed, this one has a top speed of 217. The diesel two-wheel drive has a top speed of 220, and the petrol has a top speed of 207. Now, this diesel engine, even though it is a bit on the noisier side, it actually offers very good punch, and it makes driving the GLB a very nice experience. There's more than enough punch in this car. You can drive it on the twisties, on the ghats in the city. Drivability levels are very good with this engine, and while there is some low end lag which can be felt because of the transmission also, and this is felt mostly below 40 kilometers per hour. After that, this car accelerates very nicely. It is a pure mile muncher, and you can drive this car all day long. You really won't get tired. The engine won't give up as such, and you can probably do 1,000 kilometers in a day also. And this is a pure workhorse engine, and we have seen this engine on a lot of Mercedes cars. It is a tried and tested unit, so it has a nice blend of performance and fuel economy. So with the full tank, this car can probably do around 650 to 700 kilometers very easily. If you're cruising just all day long, this can probably do 900 kilometers also on a single tank of fuel. So that is the beauty of this diesel engine. So right now the range is showing 714 kilometers, and we have been having a lot of fun actually behind the wheel of this car. So 714 is actually pretty good. So that sums up the diesel engine very nicely. Out of all the powertrains, this one would be my pick of choice, the 220D 4MATIC. And yeah, this has drive modes also. So you get an individual mode, you get a comfort mode, you get an eco mode, a sport mode. There's an off-road mode also, which is available only with the 4MATIC variant. So yeah, this car is not a hardcore off-roader, but it can do a fair amount of off-roading, soft-roading if you may say so. And you can take this car to your farmhouse very easily. So yeah, overall I think the diesel engine, there are no major complaints on this front. The petrol engine is again the same one as the A-Class limousine. That is a 1.3 liter engine making around 160 horses and 250 Newton meters of torque. That gets a 7-speed automatic, and that also has cylinder deactivation technology. And that same engine is offered in a lower tune on the Renault Duster and the Nissan Kicks. I mean, the Duster is discontinued now, but it used to be offered on those cars also. So yeah, it is a decent engine, but this one would be my pick for sure. And I think most customers will also opt for the diesel version of the GLB. Enough of the engine. How is the ride quality? How is the handling? Handling is actually quite good by SUV standards. This car has a stiff suspension setup. It is not very stiff, but it is slightly on the stiffer side. So some of the sharper potholes are felt inside the cabin, but otherwise the car has a very nice balance, and it has very good road manners. So you can push this car around and it drives in a very confident manner. So yeah, that is not an issue. The steering also offers decent feel and feedback, and it feels quite good to hold. So overall, the car feels confident, and irrespective of any terrain, the car feels quite nice to drive. And I think it is definitely worthy of the baby GLS badge that people have given this car. So I think that's enough about the GLB. I think now we should move on to the wheel of the Mercedes EQB. So after the GLB, it is time to drive the Mercedes EQB, and as expected, because this is an electric car, it is very silent. There are no noises, no vibrations, nothing of that sort. And it feels like any other EV when you drive the car. So this one has dual motors. At the front, you get an asynchronous motor. At the rear, you get a permanent magnet synchronous motor. And this one makes 225 horses, so basically 160 kW of power. And you get 390 Newton meters of torque with this. And of course, the EQB also gets 4matic. So this one, the battery is 66.5 kilowatt hour, and if you do a fast charge with a 100 kW charger, which is unavailable at a lot of places in India, you can charge the battery from nil to full in around 32 minutes, and with a normal 11 kW home charger, you can charge this car in about 6.5 hours. So yeah, overnight charging is possible with this car. And most of the fast chargers that we see in India, the public chargers, they are usually 30 to 50 kilowatt, and that is the basic range that is available. 100 kW chargers are very rare in India right now. So anyway, coming to the range, the claimed range is 423 kilometers. Realistically, around 300-350 should be possible with this car. And if we compare it to the range of the normal GLB, that one is like almost double the diesel which I drove, because that will do around 750-800 on the full tank very easily. So that is where the practicality factor comes in. If you want to do a lot of long road trips and go around with the family and all, that car makes more sense. If you know that your running is going to be in a very predictable fashion, then you can consider the electric version, so that ki gaadi kab charge karni, kab charge nahi karni and all that. So performance is actually very nice with the EQB also. And yeah, in terms of outright acceleration, this one is quicker than the GLB, and the top speed is limited to 160 kilometers per hour on this car. So acceleration, you just stamp on the throttle, the car flies, and that is expected out of any EV now. So we have experienced a lot of them in the recent past, and yeah, that is I think one of the coolest parts about having an EV, right? The straight line acceleration. But apart from that, the kind of feel that you get in the GLB, that same feel is not available on the EQB. And yeah, just like any other electric car, this one also feels a bit different. And personally, I feel the ICE cars feel more involving, and overall, yeah, the feel is just better on ICE cars. Overall performance is good with the EQB. It has more than enough oomph, and there are different driving modes also. You get a comfort mode, eco mode, you get a sport mode, you also get an off-road mode with this. But of course, just like the normal GLB, this also cannot be taken to hardcore off-road trails. You can do normal soft roading with this. The instrument cluster is a bit different on this car, but apart from that, no major changes. And the ride quality also feels more or less similar. I mean, there's a slight amount of difference, and it is good actually. It is pliant, and only thing is that on the sharper edges of potholes or undulations, the bigger ones, they are filtered inside the cabin, and you can hear that thudding sound. So that gets a bit discerning. Apart from that, no complaints as such in terms of drivability. It is picking one of these two, it is a matter of choice. I mean, some people might buy the EV, some people might buy the ICE version, and yeah, it depends from person to person what are the requirements and what are their expectations from the vehicle. Personally, if I had to pick one, which one would I buy? I'll tell you in a bit. So yeah, I think the EQB will be positioned between around 75 to 80 lakhs, and in that range, I don't think we have any other proper EV. I mean, the XC40 Recharge is one segment lower, and that is around 20 lakhs cheaper also. 50 lakhs is something, 50 lakhs odd is the price of that car. In this range, I don't think there is any other EV right now. So yeah, it has this thing, there's no real competition. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Now let's come to the moment of truth, the verdict, and let me just sum up both the cars for you. So which one should you buy out of these two, the GLB or the EQB? Well, both the cars are quite similar in terms of space, features, technology and practicality. This one gets petrol and diesel engine options. This one is of course a pure EV. Both of them get 4matic. So you have to see which one suits your requirements more. If you think an EV can satisfy your needs, if you can figure out a way to charge this car and drive it practically, you can consider the EQB. It is a very nice product. It is quite good as an overall family SUV. And this one, well, of course, the benefits of having a petrol or a diesel SUV. This gets a longer range, and of course fuel stops will also be quicker on the GLB. So that is why I think that this one will fetch more sales, and my personal pick out of these two would also be the GLB 220D 4matic. So yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions about both of these cars, let me know in the comment section below. And of course, both of them have very limited third row space. So if you're looking for a proper full size 7-seater, you might have to look elsewhere. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.